Hi everybody, my name is Larsen. It's difficult to keep practicing and working when you're trying to learn a difficult genre of music like jazz. At the same time, you probably also already know that you have to be consistent, you have to stay working, and it's really about reaching the long goals, and if you don't keep on working, then you're not going to book any progress. And this can be a huge problem, because if you get into a circle of not feeling like practicing, then you can actually end up just quitting playing altogether. In this video, I'm going to go over 5 things that keep me motivated and inspired to practice. And this is coming out of my own experience, both as a student, but certainly also as a teacher, what I've seen work for my students, and also what I see around me as a musician with colleagues, because this is something that we all face, and it's a very common thing to really take seriously. This video will give you some ideas on how to keep on practicing and how to feel like practicing. But not all of this is really about what is happening in the practice situation. There's more to music than that, and as you'll see, there are a lot of things that really influence how we feel about practicing. If you want to learn more about jazz guitar, improve the way that you solo, check out some interesting arpeggios or chord voicings, then subscribe to my channel. If you want to make sure not to miss anything, then click the little bell notification icon next to the subscribe button. Make sure your practice session is fun. It seems obvious that we play guitar and we play music because it's fun. And I'm pretty sure that if I had €1 for every time that somebody told me that I was extremely lucky that I could make my hobby into my profession, I would never have to work again. But it's also important to be aware of how you're practicing and making sure that part of the time that you spend practicing is not focused only on goals and getting better, but also on just having some fun and relaxing while you're playing your instrument. And it can be simple things that you can notice about how you practice. Things like, I enjoy playing chords more than I enjoy playing scales. I really like to work with speeding up scales and technical exercises like a workout. Or maybe I have to play some music and not think about what I'm practicing. Or it can also be simple things like enjoying to play over a simple backing track and in that way feel like you're making music. The important thing is that you have to be aware of whether you're actually having fun when you're practicing, because you have to remember that
yes, it's supposed to be fun.
Check out live music. Inspiration is a huge part of motivation. And I think it's true for a lot of genres of music, but for jazz certainly, it is a live art form. It is something that you actually should experience as a concert, as a live performance. And any kind of recording or any kind of video that you'll see of this will only be sort of a faded or weaker impression of what really happened. That's why it's important that you also regularly go to see some great concerts, because in that way you're going to keep inspired and you're going to get some new ideas. And it doesn't really matter if you're going to see sort of the local jazz musicians that are living in the same area as you, or you're going to see a huge star. I think it's really important to just experience how it is to actually feel how the music is played and what real music is when it's performed live. And it's also going to give you a lot of ideas, whether they're just going to be things to strive for or if they're going to be a new way of playing a song that you already know. A bonus is also that if you go to live concerts, you're also supporting musicians. And again, whether they're local musicians or bigger stars that are just coming by in your town, this is an important part of keeping the music alive, and it's also what you need if you really want to keep on playing. Track your progress and your work. This is an important tip, even if it is really simple. And I think very often we forget that even though we're practicing to get better, we also have to notice what is actually being achieved, what we're getting better at. And that is what keeps us going. Because if you have no idea about whether you are getting better, then it's really difficult to have an idea about why you should keep on practicing. The easiest way to do this is probably to keep some sort of journal where you write down what you're working on, and then also really make a point of writing down things that you do well. Because if you're learning something new, then if you mastered a new scale or an arpeggio, or you can use that in a song, put it into words, put it down somewhere so that if you feel less motivated, then you can always look at that. And of course, once you write it down, you probably remember it well better anyway. The reason that I can keep on publishing all these videos is that I have a community of people over on Patreon that are supporting my channel. I'm very grateful for their support. And it's only because of that I can keep on making all these very specific jazz guitar and music theory videos. So if you want to help me keep making videos, then check out my Patreon page. If you join us over on Patreon, I can also give you something in return for your support. Play with other people. Jazz is for the most part a team sport. Enjoying music and making music with others is really a great way to give meaning to why you practice, because then it's not only for you to get better, but it's also for you to play better when you're with other people. And adding a social element to music is really, really beneficial for your progress and your motivation. For me, playing with other people, and whether it's in a band or it's a jam session, is really something that just falls into the category of having fun. This is also probably the main reason why I chose to specialize in jazz guitar rather than trying to play classical music. And I think I see this also with a lot of students, that if they're in a band, and if they're going to sessions and trying to really use the music that they're studying, then they are improving so much faster. It can really boost the way that you work on things and the way that you play. And at the same time, I've also seen that if people stop playing with other people, then they can actually come to like a grinding halt in a very short amount of time. Finding people to play with, whether it's a band or whether it's a jam session, can be extremely difficult, and also finding the time in this day and age is of course also something that's tricky, but it is worthwhile spending some time and investing in finding a way to use the music that you're trying to learn. If you want to go over or check these 5 tips without having to watch this entire video for some other time, then you can go to my website. There's a link in the description, and there you can download a PDF of the 5 tips. That's also going to save you some more time, so you have more time to practice. Take lessons from a good teacher. Having lessons with a good teacher is really a way of addressing a lot of the tips that I already covered in this video. If you have lessons, then hopefully your teacher is inspiring you, and you also get to play with the teacher in the lessons, at least some of the time, or hopefully most of the time. And of course, it's also somebody that you can discuss whether you're having fun when you're practicing, how you should practice, and also how you're progressing and how your development is, what you need to focus on. And that way, somebody that can help you improve and help you progress and develop your skills, which is probably going to help you stay motivated when it comes to practicing. I'm of course really curious what keeps you motivated when it comes to practicing, and I think we probably all can use all the tips that we can get. So if you have a great tip for how you stay motivated, then please leave a comment on this video. If you want to check out another video where I'm discussing your practice routine and looking into what it should contain, what topics you should cover, and what you need to think about when you're trying to define and figure out what you need to work on, then check out this video where I'm going over a 30-minute practice routine. If you want to learn more about jazz guitar, then subscribe to my channel. And if you want to help me keep making videos, then check out my Patreon page. That's about it for this time. Thank you for watching, and until next time.